One of the biggest problems I see so many coaches facing when they're trying to get started online is they've become the industry's best kept secret. They ultimately become highly qualified and highly skilled and ultimately position themselves as experts, usually within their in-person business, but they struggle to make any money when they get into the online space. And like, if I was to rewind the clock back in time, this was the exact same struggle that I also faced when I was getting started. I ultimately had become the industry's best kept secret. Why did that happen? Well, I basically just followed what every other sort of person ahead of me was saying at that time in the industry. So it was like, go and do courses, go and get mentoring, and get better at writing programs, get better at training, get better at nutrition, and get better at coaching, which isn't bad advice whatsoever. And I think you do have to go through a period of time where you do this. But I did this for like 3, 4, maybe even 5 years, I'm pretty sure it was, of like basically investing multiple 5 figures into upskilling myself as a coach. And like, I was highly qualified and highly skilled, just like what you are probably right now as well, but still wasn't making any money. And I was still basically living like week to week, not only in my in-person coaching business, but then I just couldn't even get the online coaching business off the ground. It was like, I couldn't comprehend why I was such a highly skilled person, and yet the bank account did not reflect, nor did the client base online. Which then ultimately begs the question of like, well, why does this happen? There are so many highly qualified and highly skilled coaches out there. Why aren't they crushing it online? And it's because when you come out of PT school, when you come out of coaching school, the academy, whatever it is you want to call it, no one ever teaches you content. No one ever teaches you marketing. No one ever teaches you sales. And what ends up happening is these coaches, probably yourself as well, literally don't know how to separate themselves. They just end up saying and copying basically what every other coach out there says, so they blend in and ultimately become the industry's best kept secret. And I know that your ego is probably going to be like, oh, I am highly skilled. I am, I'm an IFBB pro. I've done this, I've done that, whatever it is. Your ego is definitely going to be in the way a little bit here. But at the end of the day, if you can't get yourself out there, then you're going to really struggle to build an online coaching business. And it doesn't matter how many certificates you have, how many client transformations you have, whether you've competed before, you're an athlete or whatever it is, none of that shit matters if you can't promote yourself and you can't separate yourself from everybody else, which will ultimately mean that you're going to struggle to build your online coaching business. But then the other thing is you just blend in with everyone else, ultimately becoming the industry's best kept secret. So how can we actually avoid this then? That's usually going to be like the next sort of like big question here of like, what can we do to position ourselves? So there are 4 key things that I think you should be focusing on if you do want to try and separate yourself from the market and ultimately get away from being the industry's best kept secret. The first thing you need to look at doing is niching down. Now, a lot of the time, or niching down for the Americans out there, but niching down is a term that gets thrown around in coaching a lot, but no one really digs deep into the reason as to why you need to niche down. The term is always thrown out there, niche down, pick a niche, get a market, blah, 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 avatar this, avatar that. But no one really explains why you need to niche down. I like to explain to my clients, just really at a really simple sort of breakdown or example of this is, imagine you need to go to a doctor, but it's just a general practitioner. That doctor can help you if you have a sore toe, they can help you if you have a pimple on your forehead, if you're losing your hair, if your back's sore, whatever your problem is with your body, this doctor is going to be able to provide some sort of help. But let's say you go to the same doctor and you're like, hey doc, I've got a shooting pain in my heart right now. That doctor's gonna be like, oh damn, you need to go to the heart specialist ASAP. And they will refer you off to the heart specialist. Why? That specific person specializes in that specific problem. And if we can translate that into coaching, when you're a personal trainer or you're an in-person coach or whatever it might be, you don't necessarily need to have a niche. You don't have to market down. Why is that? Well, think about it. Like if you are working in a gym, you're essentially confined to the gym. That's it. You can't really get clients externally unless they come to the gym and they sign up. So you're kind of capped to the people in your facility, which means you have to work with everyone and anyone that works in or that comes to that gym. But when you get into the online space, you can target literally anyone that has an internet connection. So then it's like, wow, okay, I still want to work with anyone and everyone. is the approach you'll take, right? But then it's like when you're online, you have such an ability to reach millions of people with social media and the internet. So if you try and take the same approach online as in person, where you just want to work with anyone and everyone because, you know, the age-old story is I just love helping everyone, that's totally fine, but you will blend in with every single other coach out there who is also doing that too. So if you think about it from the eyes of your prospect, when they're looking for a coach, how do they differentiate who's the best coach to go with based on what they want? If everyone, say there's 10 of you all lined up, all 10 of you work with anyone and everyone, I help busy people get in shape might be your call out. How are they going to pick which one is the best when you all look the same? When you all sound the same, when you all do the same thing? They're probably just going to pick you based on if they like you or not, whether you have a tattoo or not, whether you have blonde hair or brown hair. That's how they are going to make a decision. And this is the wrong way we want our prospects to be making decisions. So how can we eliminate all of this? Well, we position ourselves as the person who does one specific thing. So when I was transitioning online, I went through this exact same thing. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to eliminate working with everyone and anyone because I like that. I went through the same thing. My mentor at that time was like, you need to niche down. You need to position yourself. Pitch your flag in the sand and say, this is who I'm working with. And trust me, things will blow up. And I was like, nah. This isn't going to work. This is not going to work. Anyway, with enough convincing, he actually got me to do it and I niched down. And this is where the Bikini Body Project was born, which was my online fitness coaching business that I was running. So I pitched my flag and it was I help women between the ages of 20 to 30 with 2+ years training experience who want to build a bikini body that looks like a bikini competitor, but without the competition prep. So you know what it looks like: tight waist, nice little shoulders, a little bit of abs, tight butt, strong as hell, and confident, right? That was the outcome I helped women achieve. So now if you think about that example of even just me, now when I'm creating content, now when I'm running my paid ads, now when I'm promoting myself online, I'm now positioned as the bikini body guy, which is amazing because what's going to happen is it's going to attract people that want that specific outcome because I've now positioned myself as the heart specialist, right? Whereas if I didn't do that, then anyone and everyone would be coming to my page. But the good thing here is I'm going to attract the right kind of person in, but then I'm also going to repel everyone else, which is exactly what we want when we niche down. So that's exactly why you want to niche down in the beginning, especially if you have a small audience. If you have quite a large audience of like, I'm going to throw an arbitrary number out there, 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers, something like that, then you probably don't have to niche down. But if that entire audience you have has nothing to do with fitness coaching online or online coaching in general, then it's pointless. So you still need to niche down anyway. So hopefully you can see now the importance of actually niching down. It feels like the wrong thing to do, but it's actually the very thing that will help you stand out so you stop being the industry's best kept secret. Which brings me into the second thing that you now need to be focusing on. So the niche is literally the most important thing. Inside of Freedom Coach, my online coaching business, that's the first thing I put all of my clients through, is I make sure that we have a niche selected, chosen, and it's really specific. The second thing you then need to be focusing on is a content strategy. Now, content is like the term that's thrown around out there all of the time. There's never really a specific strategy that works best. All of them work. The key with content is just being specific and consistent. Let's quickly talk about the specific side of things. Consistency doesn't need to be spoken about. Just show up every single fucking day on social media for the next 6 months and trust me, you'll get clients. But if you don't have specificity with your content, then again, you will blend in with everybody else. So imagine this, you've now chosen the bikini body thing, you're doing that. Okay, great. Now all of your content is going to be centered around becoming the bikini body expert. Here's how to build up your glutes. Here's how to get strong. Here's how to lean down. Here's how to structure your nutrition as a bikini girl. Here's how to do all of this stuff. Now it's all specific to the niche and to the market. So now think about this again through the eyes of the prospect. When they're coming into your world, all of the content is centered around the result that prospect is looking for. And with your content, you don't always just want to be trying to teach people things. You still want to share insights into your life, show people how you do things, show that you can get results. And this is where like the whole like investing into upskilling yourself is important. However, when it comes to content, it still needs to be somewhat specific to the audience you're trying to serve. Now, if you think about it, if you've got say like 1,000 followers and every single one of those people that are following you because you are the bikini body guy or girl, amazing. because you probably only need to work with a small handful of those people to make some decent money, especially in your early stages of coaching online. Comparative to having 100,000 followers that have literally no interest in building a bikini body. It's pointless because all of your content over here on 100,000 followers might be centered around something completely different. And you don't have to really narrow yourself right down into always just talking about the bikini body thing. You still want to have external content that talks about you and your values and bits and bobs and what your life is like, so you can also create a personal brand with your content at the same time. However, if you have niche specific content, this is how you start to stand out. This is how you start to attract the right kind of people in. And ultimately, this is how you start to grow your online coaching business. Which then brings us into the third thing that I would be focusing on, which is a paid marketing strategy. Now, the Bikini Body Project, my online fitness business that I had, I built that purely just with paid ads. This was a couple of years ago, from 2020 to 2020, end of 2022. I ran that business for the better half of 3 years. During that entire time, I barely posted content. However, in today's day and age, I believe in 2023, which is the end of 2023 right now at the time of filming this, and beyond, you can't just run paid ads and grow your business. It was a lucky time for me, but now I truly believe that you need to have content stacked with paid marketing. Content is going to create trust and connection with your audience, which is what we need to stand out against everybody else, because every motherfucker out there these days is creating content and trying to grow an online business. So we need to separate ourselves with our niche specific content. We need to talk about who you are, what your values are, what your life is like, so people get to know, like, and trust you. But you would know this, creating content can take a lifetime to get going. So now if we then look at things of like, okay, well, instead of just relying on the algorithm gods to go viral, how do we get speed? How do we grow this business faster? This is where paid ads can step in and really step things up. So the way that I would approach a paid marketing strategy is I wouldn't necessarily be running ads where it's like, buy my coaching. You can definitely do that, but instead of attacking the 3% of the market that are only ready to buy right now, you're far better off attacking the 97% of the market who isn't ready to buy right now, who could very well be ready very quickly. You're far better off targeting and running your paid ads to those people to attract the 97% who just need to get to know, like, and trust you into your world. The 97% of people in the market, your niche, that aren't ready to buy right this second, let's just run some ads, attract them into your world. They then see your content, they follow you, they check out your stuff, they sit in your ecosystem, or an incubator I like to call it, and they just sit there just getting to know, like, and trust you. So now it might be an hour, a day, a week, a year. It doesn't matter. They're in your world. So long as you're nurturing them with your content, we're bringing people in consistently with these paid ads. This is how you're going to grow your business really, really fast. So hopefully you can see, if we just sort of summarize where we're at already, niching down is going to help with, basically positioning yourself. Then we have a content strategy, show up every single day to create trust and connection and show that you're the expert. Then we run a paid ads strategy to attract people into our world. And ideally, we don't just want to focus on the 3% of people that want to buy products right now. Like, yeah, that's great. We do want to do that. And that's the traditional approach to running paid ads. However, if we can focus on the 97% of people in your market that might not be ready to buy this very second, but might just need a little bit more content and a little bit more information, we can attract those people in with our paid ads, get them to follow us, get them to consume our content. Now we've got this ecosystem building. Hopefully that's starting to make a little bit more sense. Which then brings us into my fourth and final point here, which is you need to get skills around sales. A lot of coaches, they can post content, they can niche down, they can figure out how to run paid ads. Like there's a gazillion YouTube videos out there that'll show you how to do that. But when it comes to sales, this can be really hard. They just send their prices in the DMs and then people ghost them. And they're like, well, what the hell? That's a shitty client. It's like, no, you're actually not really good at sales. So the final thing you need to do to ultimately not become the industry's best kept secret is you need to get good at sales. And this isn't just phone sales. This is appointment setting. This is learning how to, be manipulative in your content and persuasive. If you can get really good at sales, everything else will fall into place from there, because you've got people now coming into your world who are specific to what you do. You've got people that are getting to know, like, and trust you through your content. You've got your paid ads strategy running that's basically pulling people into your world on a conveyor belt. Now all you need is a system to basically sell to these people and sign them up into your online coaching program. This is how you stand out as a coach in 2023 and beyond. This is how you build a sustainable online coaching business that is actually going to gain traction. So many coaches get started online, get a couple of clients, realize they can't get themselves out there, and then they throw the towel in. If you just implement these 4 things that I've walked you through today, I can guarantee you that this is how you'll start to get some really quick traction with your online coaching business. So let's quickly summarize what I've just walked you through. The first thing is you want to look at niching down. This is how you stand out in the marketplace. The second thing is you need a content strategy to post every single fucking day. Show up every day on social media. Just show up and commit to doing it. This is how you'll create trust and connection with your audience. The next thing is running a paid ads strategy. This is going to bring people into your world who are targeted at a consistent conveyor belt manner to bring them in so you can actually then nurture these people. So this is how we get leads basically coming into you on autopilot. And then the fourth and final thing was sales. You need to get really good at sales and selling as a coach. This is like the icing on the cake to getting things going. But my friend, I hope you got a lot of value out of this one here. Make sure you do the subscribe, the like, all that jazz, and I'll see you inside of the next video.